10-mile yard sale. I stole the stuff on a 10-mile yard sale, but it's what's public pay on my land.
Yeah, that is coming up. When is that?
I don't know.
You sound like you've been crying.
No, I'm not crying. I've been watching Big Bang Theory.
Lorne, you cut out. Say that again?
I said, so what's been up the last 3 days?
What do you mean?
What have you been doing?
Working.
What have you been doing?
Working.
That's all you've been doing, working?
I have been working, and with this job, I can't really talk all the time as I used to with my old job. But yeah, I've been working the last few days.
No time at all to text me back, huh?
It's not that. I mean, it's by the time I get the messages, usually later at night. I'm not really checking the phone during the day.
I think the only time I texted you was at nighttime.
No, I mean like nighttime, past the time I would text you. It's just been really busy because my product is about to go on sale. Can you turn your TV down, or your TV is really loud?
Is that better?
I think.
Can you still hear it?
Not this second. Yeah, this is pretty good.
All right. Now, what did you say you were doing?
Oh, what did I say?
Something about a sale or something?
Yeah, so we're about to have a sale, and so I've just been really busy preparing for it. Plus, I just hired someone, so a lot's going on.
Is he good looking? Is he good looking?
He's qualified. That's what I know.
He's what?
He's qualified for the position. That's why I hired him.
Is he good looking? Good looking, isn't he?
Like I said, I needed someone to fill the position, and he's qualified.
Yeah, he's good looking. You know how to answer this, so obviously he is. Has he hit on you?
Hold on a second. Okay, Lorne, say it again.
Has he hit on you?
I have not even met him.
Or you haven't met him?
I know, I've met him, I've met him through video calling, because that's how I did the interview. I'll meet him in a couple weeks when I go to train him. Or I should say next week.
So how many video interviews did you have to give him?
I gave him 2 video interviews, and then my boss did an interview.
Why did you have to give him 2?
I do a quick screening, and then I wait for a second interview.
To the qualifications?
Say again?
To the qualifications?
Like a quick screening interview to make sure, the person that you're going to invest a couple hours into interviewing isn't like a psycho.
Oh, wow. That's really not an effective way to tell who's a psycho.
Well, I mean, there have been people who were eliminated in the first video interview, so it kind of is effective. Of course, you can't always tell, but the fact of the matter is that you do your best, and giving them 2 interviews does eliminate some people who aren't the best.
I know what you mean. Just like regular interviews.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to Allie.
That's good.
And I talked to Maria too.
Did you initiate contact with Maria or vice versa?
Huh?
I said, did you initiate contact with Maria or vice versa?
I initiated contact with Ellen, did my monthly check-in. She wanted me to do.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Over there. Allie is.
Why you laugh? You laughed. What?
She's not really for me meeting you because of you recording me and all the stupid shit that you did to me before.
You have to live for you, because here's the thing.
She brings across good points.
Here's what you have to do, and I would say this this is what I'm going to say to you, and I would say this no matter if you were talking about meeting me or if you were talking about meeting, the flying spaghetti monster, if you were talking about meeting Halle Berry, whoever you're talking about meeting, you said that you had to date Jennifer, whoever in the world that you are talking about meeting, this is what I'm going to tell you. You have to live for you. You have to live for yourself, because here's the thing. Allie spends 1 day or 1 hour a week. You see Allie 4 hours of the month. That means that there's almost 700 hours in the month that you're not spending with Allie. That time Allie spends, some of it she's working. A good bit of it she's spending with people who are in her personal life who she cares about. You have to make your decisions.
She gives me things to think about that I don't always think about.
What did she give you to think about?
That I think about, and I don't say anything else, so I talk to Allie about things.
And what did she give you to think about?
Everything. It's actually a combination of things that she said and things that Maria said.
Well, like I said, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine.
Even though Maria does not have a problem with me and you meeting. She just wants to be able to verify that you are you. And that you're of age. I told her one of the things that Allie said was, you have to, I told Allie that you agreed to give Maria your license number so she could check you out. Allie said that she could give anybody's license number.
And then see, I hadn't even thought of that until, but here's the thing though.
Well, I thought about it. After Allie said that, and after I met with Maria.
And then see, I hadn't even
I
thought
came
of
up
that
with the
until,
conclusion that
but here's the thing though.
there's no way that it can go wrong if you do a Skype with Maria.
I hadn't thought of that one. That could work.
That's the easiest way to do it. There's no way that
And that was your idea?
go wrong. Yes, that was my idea. I have a lot of good ideas because I don't say it. I mean, I don't have them.
Well, you said that you have, okay, so you did say that idea. It's not like you're not saying your idea. And that was where you get that from.
I have a lot of good ideas. I just don't say most. And I probably should.
Well, you said that you have, okay, so you did say that idea. It's not like you're not saying
So, Maria, I think I told Allie too. No, me and Allie didn't get on the subject. But like I told Maria, with my situation, I'm worried about, well, actually, this is something that Maria said that made me think about my situation.
You're cutting out. What she said made you think about what?
I didn't cut out, I just had to move. I had to research myself. That is something that Maria said. Made me think about Maria told me that.
You're cutting out. What she said made you think about what?
That the shit that you did with all them people, she said that those people are intent on getting you incarcerated again.
What?
The shit that you did.
Anybody feelings, yeah. I think the fact of the matter is that nobody can get you incarcerated. Thing one, no one can get you incarcerated. Thing two, let's take a page out of the fact of the matter is that nobody can get you incarcerated. I forgot the last name. That's just how important it is. But anyway, thing one, no one can get you. Hold on a second. Thing two,
Come up here, you and I are alone.
Eleanor Roosevelt. Let's take a page out of the Eleanor Roosevelt book and say that nobody can get you incarcerated without your consent. So that's thing two. Nobody's going to be able to get, like, even if I wanted to, which I don't, but even if I wanted to get you incarcerated, I couldn't, like, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, tie you up and force you to on top of a kid? seriously, there's no way that you can get incarcerated without doing something. I couldn't.
So,
I mean, what am I going to
if you get me incarcerated,
tie you up and force
you
you?
want
Seriously, there's no way
you clean and rape you,
incarcerated without doing something.
they're automatically going to put my ass in jail. You can get me incarcerated.
But they would have to prove that you did it.
You clean and rape long rail, and I would go to jail.
Well, incarcerated, spending 24 hours in central booking and going to prison are two different things. Because you would not.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to go to the booking even.
Okay, but here's what I'm like. Okay, anybody, if I spending 24 hours in
I
central
get up with
booking
another
and
solution
going
for
to
that.
prison are two different things. Because you would not.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to go to the booking even.
Okay,
Maria asked you whatever questions she needs to ask you. I'm going to add a question for her to ask you.
which is,
Do you intend to have sex with Lorne?
well, that's an interesting question.
If your answer is yes, then we're not going to be alone.
Which is, what made you think of that?
The thought of me going to jail.
Well, that's an interesting. See, you're thinking of things I never even thought of.
That's what Alan and Maria do. They help me be able to think a little harder. That's what you've done before too. So you
See, you're thinking of
got
things I never.
elbow deep as Alan and Maria do. Sherry twist. You have to think a little harder. Which I want the whole story about. That's what you've done before. Because you're leaving out things about that story that are important to me. Sherry, that I need to know about. Which I want the whole story.
First of all, I'm not leaving anything out of that story. I've told you what I know. There are things that I don't know. There are things that you know.
To me.
I did. You just didn't believe me. First of all, I'm not leaving.
You started long before you.
I've told you what I know.
Told me to start.
I don't know. There are things that you know.
You pretended that you didn't
I did. You
know
didn't
her
believe me.
when I told you about her. And you did already know her.
I don't know what you know. That is not true.
Told me to start. Know her. And you did. How much time do you wind up spending with her?
I don't know what you know.
Her.
That is not true.
Those other dipshits planning things to do to me. To make me jealous.
What are you? Okay.
Talking about your knee surgery. The psychologist.
Oh, yeah, I made up my knee
They went out there with his elevator, takes his car right up to his apartment, and all this crap. Talking about your knee surgery. How long were you guys plotting that stuff?
Lorne, we were not plotting anything. You know everything that happened. You're more aware of everything that happened than I am.
I'm more aware of it because I paid attention to it because it was all about me. It was all something that.
And I have not paid attention. Like, I mean, I was not paying attention. I was, I was living in the moment. And now,
You were living in the moment of hurting.
we're not seeing better between us.
Listen to what you just said. You were living in the moment. You were living in the moment of hurting somebody that you cared about.
And now,
For the benefit of what?
I did not do anything intentionally deceitful. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm being pounded into a corner.
You're not being pounded into a corner. You're being asked questions that I won't answer.
And I'm answering them, but it doesn't seem like the answers are ever good enough. I have answered these same questions, and the answers I have given you doesn't seem like, I mean, it just seems
I
like
haven't asked you these questions before.
you have asked me these questions before. We have had this exact same conversation.
I want to know why you did it. What made you do it?
But see, we've gone over this. It's like, okay, here's the problem, and here's where we're going to have a problem, okay? Because when we have to relive this every week after you have therapy, when we have to relive the same situation every week after you have therapy.
This is shit that I thought of without therapy.
But okay, so then why weren't you talking about it last week when we were talking?
Because I didn't.
Well, here's the thing though. If you didn't
I
laugh,
realize I need to ask you these things over again.
so you need to ask me.
You're not giving me the answers. You're going around them.
I'm not going around anything. I'm giving you the answers. But I don't feel like I should have to be on the defense.
Not.
Lorne?
Yeah.
You cut out. What was it?
I said, if you're giving me the answers, give me the answers. Don't tell me why we don't need to talk about this stuff. Because we need to talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I have every intention to come over. My mother has gone through her yearbook, and she found her friend, and she's looking her up. And like, my thing is, like, if what I'm saying isn't good enough, then like, you know, maybe you just don't ever want to talk to me again.
You're not saying anything that pertains to the question that I asked you, though.
Okay, what am I not saying?
You're not answering the question.
Am I not answering?
I want to know what ever possessed you to do that. To do all that stuff to me. To pretend like this psychiatrist put to dinner and it has carried you to his car.
That happened.
It didn't happen because he wasn't even a psychiatrist. He was some jackass from the internet.
What are you talking about?
Talking about the little scheme that you and Emma and that psychiatrist jackass all planned on doing. And I know all about it because everybody in the room, in the chat room, knew about it. The person that told me about it was in there listening to the stuff and reading the stuff. Matter of fact, I was even on the phone with her when she told me some of the things that was going on.
Lord, we need to move past that.
Didn't answer my question. Whatever possessed you to do that stuff?
Whatever possessed you to get drunk and call me a whore?
It was ignorance.
That's not good. Why? No, it has nothing to do with your past.
Had to do with my past and being played with. You already knew that.
All right, then anything that you ask me, I'll just say it has to do with my past.
I'm going to question back at me, so you don't have to answer.
No, I'm not throwing questions back at you, so I don't have to answer. That's not at all what I'm doing. But here's the problem.
Answer my question.
As I was saying, you want to talk about standing up and taking responsibility. Stop blaming your past for you getting drunk and calling me a bitch.
You're trying to turn the table again.
I'm not trying to turn any table. I'm not trying to do anything with the table except use it as a pad to write down the reasons why I don't understand why we're having this discussion. But see, here's the thing, though.
We're having this discussion because of the crap that you did. That's why we're having this discussion. I want answers to it, and you don't seem to want to give me the answers.
Lorne, the fact of the matter is that we both made a couple of mistakes. Okay, I made a mistake by being too gullible and too naive, and you made the mistake of calling me a piece of shit and getting drunk and calling me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times a night. Now, I have asked you, I've even invited you to come with me on a wonderful trip. I invited you to come with me to Texas.
I don't know. That's something
you won't even
mentioned to Maria.
You did or you didn't?
I didn't. I forgot to. I mentioned it to Allie. I forgot to mention it to Maria.
How?
I didn't really have to mention a whole lot, say a whole lot to Maria to surprise her. And that's probably why I forgot to mention that, because I think she was really in shock that you wanted to come up and meet me.
I think she very well might let you come to Texas.
No, that I know she won't do.
I almost don't believe that she's not going to let you.
Yeah, that's something you can definitely believe. She's not going to let me do that. Not right now. She hasn't known me long enough. I mean, she just, when I put that motion in, after she read that motion, that's when she started acting different to me.
What do you mean?
I mean, she started acting like
probation officer should act and be there to help people instead of being a nuisance to them. Like Mitchell helped. Mitchell would talk to me. That helped me a lot. And evidently somebody passed the word along to Maria, which was probably Allie. Because I told Allie.
I'm trying to untangle this web that you're trying to put me in. And the fact of the matter is...
Listen, I am not trying to put you in a web. All I want is answers as to why.
And I'm giving you answers, and I'm also trying to give you a trip to Texas.
You can forget me going to Texas. I can't do it. Not only because of Maria's, because I can't afford to. Not just money-wise, I can't miss work. I can't leave Roscoe and Sadie up for that long. Not right now. I can't do Texas right now.
Because I haven't told my cousin for sure that he can come. I told him, most likely, I told him that I had to, quote, see if the other person who I asked was going to be available. But he's available to come. He's looking forward to it. But I want to make sure that I have completely exhausted you as a possibility. I just want to make sure because, you know what? I'm going to do this. Before I say anything to Greg. Oh, hold on.
Hello?
Hang on a second. As I was saying, before I say anything to him,
hold on a second. I'm going to plug the phone in before it winds up going dead. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Before, it would make me feel better if, before I say anything to Greg, if you ask Maria, because what I don't want to happen is for you to come back and say that you had just mentioned that I had asked you and her say, oh, I would have been okay with that. And now, Greg's name is on a plane ticket, bound for Texas when, we didn't completely make sure that you were rolled out.
No, you can completely be sure that I'm ruled out. She's not going to let me go, and even if she would let me go, I can't do it right now. Right now would be the worst time for me to do it.
Which is crazy, because that would have been a great time for us to meet.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, too. That's not really the great time for us to meet. That's the great time for us to do something like that after we've already met.
Yeah, that's true, too.
There's too much at stake for the person that we meet.
Well, if you, when I come up there, staying with my mom's friend.
Wouldn't it be ironic if I knew your mom's friend?
God.
That'd be hilarious. I don't know anybody from Old Town. Anyway, what are you saying?
Well, if you know any Cohen, you might know him, but...
What's his name?
Say again?
What's his name?
I don't know the first name, but I overheard her say Cohen, so I don't know.
Cohen? Bill Cohen?
Bill Cohen?
Bill Cohen? William Cohen?
It sounded like she said Cohen, like C-O-H-E-N.
Yeah, Bill Cohen?
No, I don't know. You what?
Bill Cohen used to be a character. He used to be a senator.
Oh.
He's from Maine. He's married to Olympia Snow. You know who Olympia Snow is?
No, who's that?
She was a woman senator from Maine.
Is she still alive or is she just not a senator anymore?
She's still alive. She's not a senator anymore. She stopped, I think, 4 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever heard of Susan Collins?
No.
She's a senator from Maine.
I know a little bit about politics, but I don't know every senator in the world.
Susan Collins is quite a big effect in the government.
Ah.
But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only Cohen that I know Well, that's the only Cohen that I know in Maine is Bill Cohen. So, evidently I don't know him.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll find out more about my best friend. She's being kind of secretive because she's, well, I don't want to offend you, but she's being kind of secretive because she doesn't trust you. And I'm just happy that she has a friend up there.
Well, why would she trust me? She doesn't know me.
Which is true.
Wouldn't expect her to trust me.
All I know is I think they studied together in Maryland.
All you know is what?
And I said, all I know is I think they studied together in Maryland, her and her friend.
No. You gotta answer my questions. What happened to make you do that stuff?
There were a lot of messed up things that happened at that time because, First of all, you think I did things that I didn't do, and there's some things that I'm being accused of that I had nothing to do with. But I mean, it was at one point I was being blackmailed because what happened was there were people who were online and they were defending you, and I started defending you too, and I made the mistake of, I guess outing myself as being with you. And people pretended to be my friend and found out a lot of information about me and got really close to me, who I thought that they were on your side too. And it was more than just her. I mean, it was just other people who had just gotten real close to me, meaning they didn't get close to me as the beginning, we're best friends, but they got a lot of information about my personal life, where I worked and stuff. And so people were calling my job as well as stores that I go to for work.
How'd they find out your name?
Let's just say I told my name, my first name, and then people were finding out.
Must still more than one just your first name, more than one to find out anything. You can't get anything off your first name.
No, they can't. But apparently, I'm just getting angry reliving it. But apparently someone who was involved with that nonsense someone who was involved with that nonsense was able to find me via my address. Because I had gotten pulled over while I was on the phone, and they got my address. The officer asked for my address.
While you was on the phone with who?
It was, I don't even remember who, but, it was, I think, one of them might have been Emma, but I'm not sure. But I mean, and this is at the time where people were kind of pretending to be my friend, because I had gotten mixed up with the wrong people, because there were people who were defending you. And I thought that if I made friends with people who were defending you, that everything would be cool and that your image would be better. That didn't happen. It was people who... there were people who were defending you, but the people who befriended me were not the people who were defending you.
Oh, no, it's good now.
And so when Dan got pulled over and gave my license to the officer, he asked if this was my address. I said, no, that's my parents' address. I just need to give him my address. And he told me that
They were still on the phone when you took off your address.
Yep, I didn't even think, oh, they're on, I have people on the phone.
When did you tell them that you got pulled over, you need to get off the phone?
I said, crap, I'm getting pulled over. And so I'm like, hold on. And so I had a Bluetooth thing in my car, so I turned it down.
Who were you on the phone with?
Just 3. And I mean, it was literally...
3 people?
Yep, and it was literally as innocent as could be. And I think prior to that, we were talking.
The three people.
It was Emma and like there was like a gay guy, and then like I think another one was a girl. I don't even remember their names. I honestly don't even remember their names. But anyway, so I got pulled over. I turned down my Bluetooth a little bit. Well, it was like it comes in through the speakers. So I turned down the speakers a little bit and completely had forgotten that I was on the phone. And so the cop had just told me that I was going a little bit over the speed limit, issued me a warning, and that was that.
Oh, that, somebody found out your address. Okay,
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, what?
Go ahead, keep telling me. Listen.
No, I mean, that's pretty much that. And I mean, obviously, once you have someone's address, you have a window into everything that they're doing. So they knew my first name, and they knew my address.
So how'd they blackmail you?
They found my job, and they called my job, pretending to be creditors, saying that I was in debt. I went through a lot. I went through a lot, you know. I'm a strong woman because that really tested me. You know, when you spent the last damn near 10 years building your career.
Tell me about the crap with the psychiatrist, the quote-unquote psychiatrist.
I was seeing a psychiatrist, and...
You what?
I was seeing a psychiatrist.
Crap with the psychiatrist. It wasn't one on the computer.
See, here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like reliving that, because when I relive that, all of this that you're having me relive is making me relive things that you've done, and I don't like that.
Don't try to turn it on me.
No, I'm not trying to turn it on you. I'm just saying that if you want anything to do with me, why don't we just move on from this?
Well, because in order for me to have anything to do with you, we need to get past this.
Well, how are you going to get past this if we keep talking about it every time we speak on the phone?
We keep talking about it because you never answer things.
Okay, you go through two modes. Can I stick my dick in you? And what was up with what you did last, you know, in September or whatever? Those are the two modes you go through. You need to pick one. Because I'm tired of going through this every time I talk to you.
I'm tired of having to think back on that crap.
Well, I just want a sense of normalcy.
I do too. I want what we used to have.
And we can have that.
More. Yeah, but we need to get past this.
But how are we going to get past it if we keep talking about it?
How are we going to get past it if we don't? It's gonna linger on the end. It's gonna bug me to no end, and that's not gonna do any good.
I am past it. I've told you all these things that you want to know.
You're in the process of telling me,
but
you haven't told me everything.
It upsets me when I think about how people pray with us.
But it upsets me when I think about how you allowed them to.
No, but it upsets me when I think about all that I went through in the pursuance of a relationship, and you don't even care about what I went through. You just care about what happened with you. That's what's upsetting.
I care about what you went through, but the problem is you put me through a lot of stuff because of the people on the internet. Then I get this thing in the mail, this letter in the mail from somebody telling me the stuff that's going on. Not just one letter, I got a few letters telling me the stuff that's going on, that I need to watch out for you. That you,
I'm sure you got a lot of
that you have a boyfriend or a husband. They didn't know which one.
Oh, I have a boyfriend or a husband. Big difference there, and they don't even know which one. That's someone who's really close to me. They know me so well to know that I have a boyfriend or a husband. Maybe I have both. Maybe I have 3 of each. I mean, come on.
They were in the chat room. They heard everything. Then you owned up to having a boyfriend.
This mysterious day. As I said, though, you want to keep bringing up the past time. I'll bring up the past, too. Because I have answered every single question that you have asked me. And now I'm getting upset. You didn't care about how I was.
I can tell you're yelling at me.
What?
I can tell you're getting upset. You're yelling at me.
Well, why? Why do I have to get upset? Why do I have to be made to be upset?
All I'm asking you to do is tell me about what happened.
And I have told you everything that you want to know.
You didn't tell me about the psychiatrist yet.
You're taking... I did.
About that whole episode. That whole episode hurt me quite a bit.
How do you think I feel?
I don't know. You were enjoying it.
How do you think it feels inside of me? How do you think I feel inside?
You were enjoying it at the time. That's what I knew.
How do you think I feel inside now? And how do you think I feel inside then when they were playing all these games with me?
How do you think I feel, or how do you think I felt finding out that you had a boyfriend for 5 years that you lived with, that you told me was your brother?
And I could say, how do you think I feel or felt, or both, about the fact that you tried to go to Dunkin' Donuts and fuck Michelle Simpson? But if I say that, I'm in the wrong.
No, you're not the wrong one now. That's true.
So unless you want to have a talk about that, I suggest we just move on from this whole talk.
Well,
because I've never asked you why you did that. Well, you tried to fuck.
The problem is I didn't live with her for 5 years.
No, you tried to fuck her for 5 minutes and then lied about it repeatedly.
I was wrong in doing that. I know it. And I'm sorry. It doesn't bother me to say I'm sorry.
I have said I'm sorry for anything wrong that I've ever done. I apologize. So I said I was wrong and sorry too, so let's move on from that.
The reason we have to talk about stuff like this is because we can't hold it in for one thing. If it's going to fester on one of us, it's going to fester on both of us.
It's not going to fester on me. We move past it.
Does a lot more good to talk about it than it just leave it lingering.
Well, I'm going to part. It's not lingering.
Another reason is because I have to answer these questions.
Then you know what you do? If you have to answer these questions to Maria, to whoever.
I got to answer to myself too, because I got to figure it all out too. It's not just to Allie and Maria, it's to me too. It's to Tony and Wendy.
When last did you see Tony and Wendy? I haven't heard those names in a while.
I was up to see Tony. The hell is today? Today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday, isn't it? I was going to talk to him last night, but I decided not to. I saw him last week. I think it was last week I saw him. These questions that I have about that, more from me.
Well, you're on your own.
And Allie and Marie both told me, whatever you do is up to you. Just we want you to think about things. So I have to think about things. Not for them, for me. Because one wrong move, one gullible moment, put in my ass up in jail. I'm not going there again.
Nothing I do is going to put you in jail.
When Maria asks you if you intend to have sex with me, your answer better be yes. Otherwise, we won't be alone.
My answer. So when your probation officer asks if I'm going to have sex with you, my answer, quote, better, end quote, be yes.
Well, it better be yes, because if it's no, or I don't know, then we won't be alone. I won't be alone with you unless you have any other answer besides yes. I can't afford that. Until
what?
So she can't change her mind?
If your answer is no or I don't know, then until we know each other better, I can't be alone with you. Somebody will have to be there, or will have to be constantly in public somewhere where people can see me.
I think that would make you more comfortable anyway, because I'm not, for me to tell her, and I know and I know you always say that we've had, that we share so much, et cetera, but for me to say, yes, I'm going to have sex with someone who I haven't met. I can't say that for certain. I honestly cannot say that for certain. And that is not fair. Because that puts me in a situation where it's like, okay, she asks, well, are you going to have sex with him? If I say yes, but then something, when I meet you, I don't want to, well, what, am I not allowed to change my mind? I mean, that's not fair.
I know it's not fair. I don't know how to do it. Well, see, the problem is we know we want to have sex with each other.
Well, how do we know we want to have sex with each other? You might know that, but
I've never even seen a real picture of you. All I'm going off is what you told me, that you look like you cousin. But all I'm going off is the person that I had extremely strong feelings for, just because I spent day in and day out with her. She meant a lot to me.
Thank you.
That's why I know I wanted to sleep with her. So it had nothing to do with looks.
But, I mean, I'm not you, so, I mean, I shouldn't be expected to know right off the bat if I want to screw.
You already know you do.
What makes you say that?
Because you told me.
When did I tell you that?
You told me that several times since I called you.
What were my exact words when I legit believed that I was going to have sex when I come up there? What were my exact words?
I'm paying for the gas or the ticket, and I'm coming up there to screw you. And all you have to do is get there. You can't even meet me at the bottom of Maine.
Okay, you
right.
rephrased what I said.
Yeah.
I mean, you're expecting me to come up there, squirrel like a bunny, and you don't even want to pay for a plane ticket. That's what you're expecting.
And it's not like I don't want to. It's like I can't afford it right now, and you know it.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Then why not wait until you can? Why do you want to put a financial burden on me so that you can get your rocks off? Like that's, and then. I'm not gonna spend
another 10 months talking on the phone, not having a face-to-face relationship with someone. I want to know who it is that I'm having a relationship with. It's obvious that you want to have a face-to-face relationship with me. You always tell me that we're not able to touch each other or spend time with each other face-to-face. We won't do things together.
But here's the thing, though. Why are you building yourself up so that you meet me, you can be the best person you can be?
Why am I not building myself up?
Like, you don't even want to save money for a plane ticket.
I don't have the money to save right now. I'm trying to get through the winter.
You're possibly about to start this big guilty job at a Dewey Pile. They sent you a hat.
When you're here to face with me, I will tell you things.
So now
I'm not going to tell you.
So now you're trying to manipulate me. Now you're saying, well,
there's no manipulation to it.
No, but it is manipulation because now you're saying that important details that I should know and probably should know before I travel to meet you, you're not going to tell me until I come up there? Like, that's what you're saying?
No, there's not things that you should know before you come up here. There's things about my financial situation that I will tell you when you come up here for the reason why I can't afford to buy a ticket.
So you want to hide things about your financial situation until I come up there so that I can be hit with all these bombs about, how bad off you are, whatever. I don't understand. I mean, that, you say that you don't want to hide things. You say you want to be open and all this whole stuff, but now you're hiding things.
After we've been face to face, then I won't hide anything. Right now, how do I know for certain right now you're not recording me to put me on the internet?
I'm not recording you. That's thing one.
I didn't think I was getting recorded before either. I was.
Thing two, you want me to be an open book, but yet you're hiding things.
I'm asking you to get a book about the past.
Well, you're hiding things about the current.
only about my financial stuff.
Yeah, you're hiding things about your financial stuff. You're saying, hey, you need to pay for a plane ticket, and then after you drop hundreds of dollars for a plane ticket, and after you take off from work, and after you fly up to see me, and after you have your mom beat up a friend of hers and explain why she needs to, why her daughter needs to stay with her, and after you do all this stuff, and you're face to face with me, then I'll tell you about my financial situation. How does it work like that?
Well, you mean my situation?
I'm not in your situation, but here's the thing, though.
Rita heard the whole thing with the breakup on the internet.
Okay, that has nothing to do with this, okay?
That has everything to do with why I won't tell you any financial stuff right now.
You're switching subjects, okay?
No, I'm not. It's the same subject. That's why I won't tell you anything about my
nothing you're saying is being recorded. But here's the thing, though. As I said, you're not being recorded. But here's the thing. If you were, which again, I must say that I am not recording you, you're not being recorded. But if you were,
I told you before that I weren't being recorded.
That's what I was about to say. If you were, and it was on the internet or whatever, who cares what people think? You're always
their damn business.
Okay, it's not their business. But you're always like, I don't care what people think. I don't care what they think. But now you're not telling me crucial details because of what people might think.
They're not crucial.
They are crucial because you're asking me.
This is not going to be told over the phone.
You're asking me to drop money on a plane ticket, but then you're not telling me details.
I'll tell you about it when we're face to face. Why is it so important that I tell you right now? The fact of the matter is that I can't afford a plane ticket.
Well, here's the thing, though. Because I remember your brother called me something.
The what?
I said, I remember that your brother called me something. Your brother called me a gold digger before. He said I was a gold digger. And at the time, I was laughing because I was like, he doesn't even have an aluminum, let alone gold. But, okay.
I know. I was like, that is cool.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? That's real funny, and it's true that is very funny. But here's the thing. How do I know you're not a gold digger? You want me to pay for a plane ticket. You want me to go through all these changes to come up there, and yet I'm supposed to, not think that you're possibly a gold digger, and you won't even tell me why?
I'm far from a gold digger.
How are you far from a gold digger? How are you far from a gold digger when you're asking me to spend my money to come see you?
All I can do is ask you to trust me. I'm not a gold digger.
But you're asking me to trust you that you're not a gold digger. You're giving me no reason. You're not even telling me what's going on with your financial situation. You're not even telling me that. But you're asking me to trust you.
So in other words, you're asking me to trust you to tell you the stuff over the phone.
You're asking me to trust you with my finances.
I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you. You are not recording me, and this is not going to end up on the internet.
It's not.
If it does, Maria's watching the internet for everything.
Hi, Maria. I'm just kidding. It's not going to end up on the internet. What is it?
I owe Mom money. I owe Aunt Sharon money, and I owe Clay money for this land. Because I haven't been getting the hours, because I have to go to therapy and I have to go to class. That's taking a lot of money out of me just for gas. I have to travel to Augusta, and I have to travel to Bangor and back. It's taking a lot of money out of me. I have to get off work early in order to go to these places. It's $160 a month just in gas. That doesn't include the amount of money that I could be making if I was at work. And I have my light bill that I have to pay. And I have my land payment that I have to pay. Now I got my car payment that I have to pay. Full coverage insurance. And the dogs, and myself. Off money to that. I'm not getting very good checks right now. I might this week. I have to fork the money over so I can get, because Mom and I are sharing, and the place not waiting because it's payment on the land. And we have a schedule to be paid in 3 years, which I want to pay it off before.
Well, how much do you owe the three of them?
Altogether, it's $20,000. It's less than that now. Made payments since what?
How much are you paying each week?
pay whatever I can pay. But I also have gas that I have oil that I have to buy to heat this place.
I thought you said your mom didn't have any money, though. How did she lend you money for land?
Huh?
I thought you said your mom didn't have any money. How did she lend you money for land?
Uncle Rich left her some money. Not much, but he left her some money, and she used that money to help me out. That's information that I shouldn't be telling you until I do see you face to face. I'm sticking my neck out here and trusting you a lot.
Okay,
that's not information that anybody needs to know.
I had thought that your aunt or somebody had lent you money for the land or had co-signed for you. I knew that you didn't.
She did, but Mom's helping me pay her back.
So wait, so your aunt lent you the money and now your mom's paying your aunt?
My mom is helping me pay my aunt. She helps me pay my aunt half back, so I actually owe half. I owe $2,500. I don't owe that much now. Probably owe 21 or somewhere else. My mom's getting it written down. I owe half of that $5,000 contract, half to Mom, which is not even half anymore with either one except for Mom. Mom helped me again when my car broke down and Uncle Rich left me. So let me know so that I could get my vehicle that I have now. Because I needed it in order to get back to work and get to class and get to therapy. Mom's helped me out quite a bit. And yeah, it's sad that I have to turn to Mom to help me out right now.
Well, why did she,
I went through shit and I don't want to hear anything about your mother. You have to rely on your mother to help you out. And you're 47 years old.
Did you literally just mimic my mimicking voice?
I did. Because I don't want to hear you say anything like that in the future.
Okay, thing one is that I'm not going to say anything like that in the future. Thing two, that was pretty funny that you mimicked my mimicking voice.
Yeah, but you said stuff like that before.
No, here's the thing though. I have not said anything like that to be mean to you. I don't think to try to inspire you. I had a whole conversation with you to try to inspire you to reach higher highs, because the fact of the matter is that, she's not really going to be around forever. And I was trying to inspire you. I was not putting you down when I said that.
Well, to me, it felt like you were. So that's why I don't want. It felt like it was being thrown in my face. That's what it felt like.
No, I had a 3-hour conversation with you. I remember this very vividly. I had a 3-hour conversation with you, trying to inspire you and tell you that basically, I was basically coming to you as a friend in good nature, because I was saying, if your mom died tomorrow, things would not be good for you financially. And the fact of the matter is, what I was saying is, I was trying to get you to stop some of your bad habits so that you would not find yourself in that position. Why do people take criticism? I don't get it. Some people, not even criticism, because I wasn't criticizing you, but why do people take stuff like that and decide to be offended by it rather than learning from it?
Probably because of the way it felt like you threw it in my face. That's probably why I got offended.
No.
It's probably because of closeness that I had with you. And the argument that we were having. That's when it
okay, so you wanted me to just tell you to drive your car into a tree instead of saying, hey, look, there's a tree.
No, to bring that point, when we weren't arguing, it would have been a whole different thing, but we were arguing.
You weren't arguing when I said that. I was just astounded because, you were dealing with this. I remember it, yeah, and you were dealing with stuff with Uncle Clay. Uncle Clay was being mean, and you had owed him money. You owed your mom money, and I was telling her, if I were her, I'd say fuck you, and I'd say fuck all of you dumbass kids. I ain't giving you shit. But that's just me. But your mom's probably a decent, nice person, but I'm not ever to be accused of that. But like I said though, for real, I don't know why you didn't take what I was saying and use it rather than getting offended by it.
See, something that people don't understand about me is that they don't understand that I've got more than just regular day-to-day crap on my mind.
What do you mean?
Meaning a church of fags.
But wait a minute. You had told me that you had filed bankruptcy, right?
Yes, I did.
Which apparently, when you had me Google you that day, people know about that because let's just say I saw videos about it. But I didn't click on it.
You see what I'm saying? Why in the hell are thousands of people going to talk about one person's bankruptcy? Who gives a fuck? They can worry about their own crazy shit.
But so I guess you just didn't put the land through your bankruptcy.
It's not even in my name. Hold on, and once again, this is information that I shouldn't be telling you.
What am I going to do? Sell it to the dark web?
Record me and put me online.
Anyway.
This is information that I shouldn't be telling you. I'll tell you face to face.
This is not information that you should hide because now you're talking about hiding serious things. You're talking about hiding a lot of money issues.
Oh, there are not a lot of money issues. I don't know how you seem to think there are a lot of money issues. There are not a lot of money issues. It's just a matter of I need to get more time in at work so that I can, or sell more stuff, so that I can get things taken care of. Which I'm actually starting to sell more stuff now, which is something you don't even know about yet that I'm really going into detail with you about.
But you talk so explicitly, and you talk about having sex with me and all these different things, but this is the stuff you don't want online?
Huh?
You say the other things that you do, but this stuff is what's no, don't put that online. But like I said,
it's really personal stuff that involves my family. I don't want anything about me or my family financial crap online. Anybody that would put it online is just disgusting to me.
Well, that must be the government because, the government must be disgusting to you because the government posts. I don't know if you knew this, but bankruptcy stuff is public information. If you go on, you can actually see who's filed, right?
You can see who's what?
You can see who's filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, that I know. I know people who see that I file for bankruptcy. It's none of their business anyway. That's my business.
Oh no, I'm just telling you that I guess it's the government that they put that stuff online.
I'm surprised as hell that I haven't gotten more letters.
Are you afraid that the government's gonna know that you're obtaining property and didn't declare it or something?
That I'm what?
That you are obtaining property but you didn't declare it. Are you worried that the government's gonna find that out?
No, this is not my property. I've already claimed that. See, I already went over this with the lawyer anyway. And the judge that I said in front of, he already knew about it. He already knew about it because my lawyer told him all about it. So, there's nothing about my bankruptcy that isn't already known to the court. So I had to tell him everything, because otherwise it'd be perjury. I'd be damned if I don't want anything else on my record. The court even knows about me having a different vehicle.
Different,
That happened a week before I had to go to court. I'm not worried about the court finding out anything because they already know everything.
Is your land in Cornville, or what town is your land in?
It's in Cornville.
Did they,
It's not my land because it's not challenged.
say that again?
It's not my land, it's not challenged.
So, is she ever gonna, well, you know what, I guess, it's not gonna be putting her name until you pay it off, probably.
That stuff I'll tell you face to face.
No, that's not a detail. I'm just saying, she's probably gonna wait, until it gets paid off and then put it in your name, just in case you default on the loan.
That stuff I'll tell you face to face. Doesn't need to be over the phone, it's not important.
But would the government be suspicious if Like,
Of
like
what?
was it your Aunt Sharon? Like, wouldn't they be suspicious if they see like the last name Armstrong?
No. My trailer's here. My probation officer already knows everything anyway, so I'm completely covered because my probation officer knows everything, and so doesn't the court. And lie to either one of them about anything, so that's all I care about. My ass is covered. Also, all I care about is that my ass is on the right track right now, and that's the way it's gonna stay. I'm actually enjoying life more now that it's on the right track.
What do you enjoy like about it?
Huh?
Like, what kinds of things are you enjoying?
Less stressed.
That's good.
I'm more focused on what I want to do,
That's good.
which is probably another reason for me pressing you about stuff, because I'm focused on what I want and what I don't want.
I gave you the answers.
So what happened with Corey?
What do you mean?
What happened with him?
Nothing happened with him. I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
What happened with Corey? Why'd you break up with him?
You know, I mean, you know everything that happened.
No, you didn't tell me.
I did. I told you.
You just told me that all you told me was that Emma said something to him that you were flirting with guys online, and that's all you told me.
And he called a break, and he hasn't really spoken to me or anything since. I mean, there's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you're looking for like a big blowout, like he said, and then I said, and then he threw this, and I threw this. I mean, it was nothing like that. It's just.
I wasn't looking for that. All I was looking for was.
I mean, you must, because I told you what happened, and now you're asking me again what happened. We talked about Corey numerous times and what took place between the two of us, and you're still asking me about him. So, I mean, it tells me that you want juicy details where there are none.
So were there the other guys online that you were flirting with?
She didn't say guys online. She said a guy online, and
There were guys online.
hmm?
I know it sucks having to go through this crap.
I'm just like answering your questions, but I mean, it's like it's the same question repeatedly, and I don't know if you're like looking for some kind of inconsistency. I don't know if you're hoping for like a answer.
See, what I was looking for was if there was more that you weren't telling me, that you hadn't told me.
No, I told you all there is to tell. Wait, but how did you buy your van? Like, did your mom buy that, or did they?
No, I'm buying that. She just let me the money to put down, or some of the money to put down. I had some of the money.
Oh, okay. So she like lent you the down payment, and now you make the payment.
Yeah, I need a little extra to put down on it, because the amount that they wanted down for it. So, am I going to be able to trust you for us to be able to be alone?
In terms of?
Huh?
In terms of what?
In terms of you're not going to claim a rape, are you?
Where did that question come from?
Because that's a heavy question on my mind. Because
okay, think about what you asked.
Something like that would do me a lot of damage.
Now, you're talking about you're thinking more, okay?
Yes, because I have to think about that.
Okay, hold on. Think about what you just asked me. You asked me if I was going to claim rape. Now, first of all, if I was going to, if I was like going to claim somebody rape me, do you think I'm going to tell them? Like, what is, like, do you think I'm going to say, like, yes, I'm going to say that you raped me. Say again?
That did not make me feel better.
But you're talking about, like, you're now inspired to think more, and I'm just, like, surprised that you asked me that. Because, like, it feels like, you know, like, I mean, if you just, like, that kind of opens the door to, like, okay, I say, no, I'm not going to claim rape. And then if you rape me and then I go and I tell that you did, you say, well, you said that you weren't going to claim rape.
That's kind of why I wanted Maria to ask you that question, intending to have sex with her. That way, there's no way that you can go back and claim rape.
Why don't we have a chaperone? Like, I mean, just
Then that wouldn't even help anyway.
why?
Well,
Chaperone? Why?
uh,
I said, would you rape the chaperone too?
Jesus. Holy Christ. Almost went out over the ego. I said, that wouldn't even help. Anyway, because what if you decided not to, then that you didn't want to? And telling you, I got to put a lot of trust in you.
Lorne, I know that you're anxious and excited to have sex with someone, anyone, a human, preferably a girl, most likely a girl, definitely a girl, and I know that you're anxious to do that, but you know,
Wow. Are you seriously saying this stuff?
I know. Hold on, now I know that you want to have sex with someone, but what I'm saying is that you should probably try to find a way to be okay with meeting me and having a good time that does not involve that, because you have these concerns and I have not even made a decision about doing anything. Why can't it just be a fun time?
Okay. We both know that we want to.
Say again?
That we can just have a good time. It's just that we both know that we want to have sex with each other.
Where did I say that I wanted to have sex with you?
I came right out and asked you if you want to suck my dick. You said yes. I asked you if I could eat you, and you said yes.
Okay, you're asking me those things. If I say no, or if I try to say, well, I don't know, let me get to know you better, you're going to keep prodding.
You know me as well as anybody does. There's nothing about me that I've kept hidden from you. There's literally nothing about me that I've kept hidden from you. You're the only one on this planet that I can say that about.
I don't see what that has to do with any of this.
You already know what I'm saying.
What does any of that have to do with this?
You said that you don't even know me.
What?
Why do you keep asking me what? I said it 3 times.
No, you're just mumbling.
I said you already know me. You said that you don't even know me. You do know me. You said that you get to know me better. Nobody knows me better than you do. You're the one person on the planet that I've held nothing back from.
And so because you've done that, now I owe you my body. Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's not. Where does that come into it?
That's what it sounds like. You're saying, I know, you know me better than anyone on the planet, blah, blah, blah.
No, I can't remember what else started that conversation. It wasn't to do with sex. Not what we started up a different conversation that didn't have anything to do with sex. At least the way I took it, didn't have anything to do with sex.
Well, that's a first. Something that you're talking about not having to do with sex.
People changed.
Yeah, well, that was a quick change from the last 5 minutes. Lorne?
I'm here. I'm ready. Just even thought about things.
You're doing what?
I just even thought about things.
What you deep in thought about?
Things that Allie said. And you're getting frustrated about me asking you questions. Sorry you get frustrated about me asking you questions, but it's not like I have much of a choice.
But it's like when they're the same questions that I've answered.
Not all of them.
Or most of those. I mean, pretty much everything you said was earlier was stuff that we've gone over.
Just that I need to know for certain, for myself and for us, for serious, that you're not doing this to try to put my ass in jail.
See, this is a completely new concern, and I think it comes from your probation officer, or I don't know, maybe your worrying mind, because prior to this, you never had a concern about me putting you in jail. You never even said anything like that.
Because I never thought about it. I never thought about it until she mentioned that she had heard the whole quote unquote the breakup on the internet.
And what does that have to do with you going to jail?
told me I need to be careful because for some reason these people are trying to do things to get me in jail. Get me back in jail.
Well, that's for being paranoid. What?
Maybe that's being paranoid, but it's also a good point. If you look at the things that have already happened.
No, but I mean, what would anybody else putting you in jail, like, how would they benefit from that? I mean, that's just her being paranoid.
How did anyone benefit from the quote unquote the breakout? What did that do for anyone?
I don't know, but I feel like we're taking a nosedive into nonsense.
Shit. I get on fire before it goes out. We're even paying attention to it. That's smart. And it's not nonsense because it's me that is dealing with it. So to me, it's not nonsense. I mean, it really shouldn't be nonsense to you either. We're going to make this work with each other. It should not be nonsense to you. It should be something you should be concerned about too.
Well, so you think that, because you know that, like, false rape claims are felonies, right? You do know that. Do you think that I want a felony with my name attached to it?
That what?
Oh, gosh.
Say that again.
What we were just talking about.
Yeah, what?
So,
what
do
was
you think
it?
I want...
Go ahead.
All right, just stop worrying, okay? Just stop. Just stop worrying. It's doing nobody any good.
Well, what does that sound? Freaking TV. I say what you were going to say. Do I think what?
No, I mean, I was just saying, like, false rape claims didn't do me any good either because it's a felony.
Oh, it's firm, it's just what it is. I have to think about things because I don't want to spend any more of my life in jail. I've been there and done that. Trying to get my ass away from anything that has to do with it. If things are going to work with me and you, you're going to have to think about the same things. My job would be to protect you. Your job would be to protect me. And what couples do.
Everything is great.
It's only serious about us, and none of this has anything to do with the internet.
Nothing has anything to do with the internet. And first of all, if Maria were watching you and I started talking, what, a month ago? If Maria were watching things on the internet, I think things would start popping up.
You think there's a what?
I mean, I would think that Maria would have come to you with something if there was anything on the internet.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So stop freaking out.
Nobody's had anything to talk about. We haven't been talking for a month. It's been 2 weeks.
You are joking, right? You called me about a month ago. You called me about a month ago.
It's been 3 weeks. Maybe it was 3 weeks.
I can answer my phone and tell you exactly when it was, and it was about a month ago.
I've only had Mom's phone for about 3 weeks. For about a month. And
I said about a month.
For about a month, so it was about a week after that I was looking up. I realized I didn't have the Times number on it. I was on the refrigerator to get Darren's number, and that's when I decided to look behind the list, see if there was anybody else's number on there that I didn't have on there, that I wanted to have on there, and that's when I ran across name. Your old name.
You have anxiety.
Oh, I have caution.
You have anxiety.
That's part of caution. I don't have a choice. I have to be anxious about things and wonder because of the crap that Emma did. Or Sherry Twist, rather. You should have seen the look on Maria's face when I told her.
What did you say?
I told her I found out who Emma was. She said, who? I said, it's Sherry Twist. She said, who's that? I said, Sherry Twist from Perverted Justice. She said, oh, who's Perverted Justice? I said, that's a vigilante group that NBC hired. I said, her name is all over my court documents.
And what did she say?
She was disgusted. She said, Jesus. She said, fucking vigilante groups.
But I'm confused by, because Maria is assigned to you because of a felony that you committed, and now she's gonna be like angry at the group that caused you the felony. Like, I'm confused by that from like
most of the United States is disgusted by NBC and the To Catch a Predator show.
Oh my God! You polled the entire United States. Was that one of the questions on the presidential election? I'm just kidding. But no. How do you know that?
I don't know. That's all people have to say now.
Oh my God.
It was a Trapman show. It was disgusting. That's why they're not on TV anymore. They screwed up big in Texas because they caused the prosecutor to commit suicide. They went to the prosecutor's house. The prosecutor never went to the Sting house. They went to the prosecutor's house. Went on his lawn and everything. Had a SWAT team there. Busted in his house. He came out with a gun in his hand. He said, "Guys, I'm not going to hurt anyone." He put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. They left him to the hospital, and he only lived an hour later. That's when NBC got sued by Patricia Conrad.
Who?
Patricia Conrad. That was the prosecutor's sister.
Ah.
She won the lawsuit. The chief of police got fired because he allowed NBC to basically do whatever they wanted to do. They created news. That's all they did the whole time, was create news. Which is bad because there's some actual predators that are out there that needed to be caught. And if they would have been doing it for anything but money, they could have caught actual predators, and they could still today be catching actual predators.
But how do they, like, what method do you think they should have used to go about catching the actual predators?
Not involve NBC. That's when it's for money. You're going to have a vigilante group, you don't pay them $100,000 per show. Roberta Justice went for $1.2 million in that short amount of time. Now they have nothing. Literally nothing.
Here's a question, though. Like, let's say it hadn't been televised, you still would have gotten in trouble, right?
I wouldn't have gone there. I wasn't online looking for a kid.
No. I mean,
The purpose of being in a tough chat room.
If you were, no, I mean, what I'm saying, like, even if the show wasn't televised, you still would have gone to jail for doing what happened.
Yeah, I would have done it.
But why would the show being televised change what you were going to do?
Because I wouldn't have been pushed into doing it.
Wait. But
I wasn't the one that mentioned she went to her house. She was. I wasn't the one that mentioned condoms. She was.
But they would have.
Yes, she was.
But they would have.
Unfortunately, I talked dirty.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but they still would have, so here's the thing, though. I don't think, based on what I know about the law, I don't think that you can be in trouble at all.
Just for talking? No, you can't.
Yeah, just for talking. So they were always going to get people to go to a sting house. And what they would do prior to that is they would have the police go there. So, the police would be at a sting house. So what I'm saying is, how would you have not been in trouble? Because even if it wasn't televised, they still would have had you come to the house and the police would have arrested you.
If I would have still done that, if they would have talked me into it still, and I would have gone to the house, and the police were there, and it was actually the police running the sting, then I could understand the whole thing. Because I would have actually been doing it for my own benefit.
But that's what I'm saying. They would have, the only thing that, nothing, how do I say it? Nothing changed because Dateline was there. Everything would have happened the same exact way. They still would have talked to you. They still would have wanted to see if
they would not have pressed talking to me. And that's why I told them no. 2 or 3 different times over, they would have left it alone and moved on to someone else that would not have, that would have, and said yes. Instead, they saw a vulnerable person that needed somebody to talk to, and they acted like they were being, they took advantage of being a vulnerable person and talked them into doing something they wouldn't normally do.
And how did they talk you into doing it? I don't know what happened. Like, how did they talk you into it? What did they say?
Just constantly agreeing, enticing.
Like, what did they say to entice you? Did she send you, did she talk about, did she come up with ideas on how she wanted to, screw you? Or, what did she say that was enticing?
Enticing, get me to go to the house.
No, I mean, I'm not.
I don't know. I have to read the whole conversation over again, and I'm not going to. If I read the conversation over again, have it come, I'd be tight. But I try to put it out of my head because it's so far back. So the fact of the matter is, I did what I did, and I paid my price for it, and I'm still paying.
You're still paying?
Yeah, I'm still paying the price. Still on probation.
Oh.
Now I get this fucked up church of talk crap online. It's like, what the freak is wrong? Yeah, I'm betting that most of the people on there now, they're not on there that has anything to do with the set. They're on there just to see what my life is like.
So that's a good thing,
they're
right?
They're curious about me. Well, it's not a bad thing if they're just curious about me. But the problem is most of them have no life. Why the hell would anybody want to live their life around wondering what someone else's life is like? In fact, that's a waste of life. Damn if I want to sit around all day wondering about someone else. Well, what's your life like? I gotta know, because my life's not the same as if I don't know what their life is like. Holy fuck, get a life. Do you agree?
How often do you think about the thing and everything that happened?
It's constantly in my head.
Is it?
It is. Disappointed in myself for allowing it to happen.
So it's literally something you live with.
Yeah, literally. I know it's not the type of person that I ever was, and I'm constantly bothered by it.
Wow. And not a moment or not a day goes by that you don't think about it?
What sucks is sometimes people catch me in La La Land, and it's because I'm so disappointed in myself because I get about that.
And people catch you, what you said?
They catch me in La La Land.
Oh. Do you ever think about it and start crying?
No, I stopped my crying. Done with that. Just learn to deal with it.
So what you said?
Just learn to deal with it.
Oh.
Can't change anything about it now, so I just learned to deal with it. I'm actually living a lot better life now that I've learned to deal with it.
How do you deal with it?
What?
No, I was just thinking, how do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it?
Yeah.
I just think about it.
Mm.
About it. I think about it and I let the thought pass. It's just, I can't live my life around it. Or I have to live with it. It's to live with what happened, so I might not have wanted it as part of my life, but it is. So it took me a long time to be able to learn to deal with that.
But at least you've moved through it.
That's the thing, I had to move forward because it was eating me up inside bed. I finally realized I gotta drop it and live my life. Otherwise it's ruin the rest of my life.
Yeah, that could be true. I said that might be true that,
How serious are you about us?
Wait, say that again, you flirted.
How serious are you about us?
I'm talking to you, aren't I? I'm seeing where this goes.
Where do you want it to go?
I don't have, I want to see what happens. I'm going to see what happens. We'll see how it goes. I can't rush an outcome, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm not asking where you're rushing outcome. I just want to see where your head was.
On my neck. On my neck.
And you on your neck?
You said you wanted to see where my head is if it's on my neck.
I would hope it's on your neck. I would hope you wouldn't have it on your feet.
All right, then.
Although that would be interesting to see. Especially if you're naked.
Oh, boy.
I know it. Oh, you know, something else that I think about a lot
What's that?
also is the fact that I haven't heard anything about you giving those shower videos standing on.
I told you I have not, and I will not.
And you heard anything about getting on my social security number.
I have not, I will not.
You see why I get so confused as to everything else? Because none of them made sense.
Because you know people will probably pay me for that stuff, but it's stuff I'm not going to release. It's just not going to happen.
Well, that's part of the twist my head and lets me know that I can trust you. This other stuff, Allie helps me figure this stuff, and Maria helps me figure this stuff, and I wind up thinking some other stuff on my own, and I needed the answers to them. Yeah, I do trust that I can be alone with you. You haven't given out that stuff, then I guess I've got good reason to trust you.
Well, thank you. I said, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me trust you.
You're welcome.
Do me a favor.
What's that?
Please don't have a claim rape on me. Huh?
I have never done that to anyone. I have no plans to.
You had me scared for a second there. I thought you were thinking about it.
You rape me and I'll tell people that you did, but I have no plans to make up anything like that.
Good. Forget that I ever mentioned it then, so that way you don't have to think about it.
Yes, I'll try not to think about you raping me.
Can't rape the willing anyway, right?
Yeah, but you can rape the girl who's not willing.
Yeah, that's right, but I wouldn't. No, I didn't mean to do it.
Listen, very good thing here. I'm not a rapist. I commend you for that.
I've got enough on my shoulders. I certainly don't need that. Really missed you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming to see me.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take you to a special place to watch movies.
Where is that?
It's not going to be in a theater either.
I have no clue where this is.
Well, see, it's not going to be in a theater for a couple of reasons.
Let's hear these reasons.
Well, the first reason is because if it's in a theater, then I have to write a safety plan for class. So
No, hold on, wait. Time out. Question mark. You have to have a safety plan to go to the movies?
Yep.
Huh?
If we went to the movies, to movie theaters, I would have to have a safety plan so that if I had to go to the bathroom, well, first of all, I would be sitting next to you or in between you and another adult.
Okay.
So the easiest way would be for us to sit at the end of a row. And me sit at the end seat. That way, the only one to be next to me would be you.
Okay.
And if I had to go to the bathroom, then you would have to go to the bathroom with me.
Not inside the. Wait, hold on. Like I would have to go in the men's bathroom or where?
You have to stand outside the door.
But I can't go in there. So what's me standing outside the door gonna do?
Well, I'd have to make sure nobody was in there before I went in. And you'd have to stand outside the door and ask people to wait so that I could be alone in there to go to the bathroom because of being on probation. That's all you'd have to say. If you're on probation, yes, yes, take certain steps. So if you could just wait a minute while he goes to the bathroom, he'll come right back out. Then you
I'd have to say that to anybody or a kid who goes to go to the bathroom.
to a kid. So what I would do is I just wouldn't go to the
probation.
I wouldn't go to the bathroom the whole time I was there. That's what I would.
What is probation? You know how kids are.
Huh?
I said the kid's probably gonna be like, well, what is probation? Because you know how kids are.
That would be perfect distraction to explain it to him. As long as it takes for me to have to go to the bathroom, that's how long you can take to explain it to him. But we wouldn't be in that position here because I won't go into places like that where I have to write a safety plan and all that crap.
Then what happens if you don't write a safety plan?
Then I'm in violation.
And what can happen?
I have to go back to jail. If they wanted me to.
And it would be called violating your probation?
Huh?
I said it would be called like violating your probation or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't go into places like that though. Another place that I would go in would be a restaurant. So, because I don't plan on taking out to eat.
I don't understand, because like they didn't violate you. Like you weren't in trouble for getting drunk. Like they didn't violate you for that. But for going to the bathroom, they would like violate you.
They could. Not to say that they would, but they could. The reason they don't violate me is because they know that I don't want to do anything wrong. They know that I just want to get through probation and on. They know that I'm not really a threat. That's why they've been taking the steps with me that they've taken, so that because they just want to see me on the right track. The only place that I would go into would be a restaurant because I do plan on taking you out to eat.
So what's your safety plan for that? Like, what is that? How does that work?
Going to eat. If I need to go to the bathroom, then I'll just wait until we're done eating. Wait until I get home to go to the bathroom.
No, I mean, but what is your safety plan for when you go to the bathroom? Okay, so you won't go to. Like, what if you really have to go?
If I really have to go, then we'll leave, so I can go to the bathroom, then we'll go back again. But I'll go to the bathroom before we go there, which is I only have to pee anyway. So,
like, you don't have to have a safety plan if you don't plan.
No. If I don't what? You just get a message?
You don't plan it. No, I'm just saying, like, you don't have to write a safety plan if you don't plan to go to the bathroom.
Oh, I'll still have to have a safety plan. It's still a safety plan. In the safety plan, I'll just say if I have to go to the bathroom, then we'll either leave or I just won't go to the bathroom till we're done and we'll leave. After we leave. Until I get home. Or in the woods. So I'll just have the road and go away from the restaurant. Be in the woods. Which actually I wouldn't even go on the woods pee. I just open up the car door and stand up outside and pee. Which I do quite frequently because driving truck I kinda have to. And actually I go in between the cab of the truck and the trailer. I stand in there and pee. Although I'll give you something to laugh about.
Let's hear this nonsense.
I
said, let's hear this nonsense. Okay, go ahead.
I will give you something to laugh about.
Uh-oh.
Well, what day was it? I can't remember what day it was. One day last week, at the beginning of the week, I left for work, and I hadn't gone to the bathroom before I left. I got to the shop and get my truck all ready and warmed up, and I was sitting inside my truck, and there was another guy sitting in his truck next to me, waiting for the rest of the guys. And then another guy came, got in his truck, got his truck warmed up, drove across the road to the garage. He got on the CB, and he said, guys, I need to go to the bathroom. And he said, don't leave without me. So I said, all right, no problem, we'll wait for you. And I got to thinking, I said, geez, maybe I should go try to go to the bathroom before we leave, because when we get up there, there's no bathroom up there, because we're up in the mountains and back roads and woods. So maybe I should try. I think, yeah, if I know I don't have to go while I'm sitting right in, I know I don't have to go, I'm not going to be able to go. So I didn't go. And we get up in the mountains, almost where we're going to be. So I put our chains on. We just fucking know. Just as soon as I got out and started getting my chains on, I had to take a shit. I was like, fucking son of a bitch, you goddamn bowels.
Oh my.
So the other guys got their chains on. They started thinking, I got on the CBI. Well, my phone came up. Drove up behind me because he was running later than the rest of us, and he was driving a regular vehicle, a regular service truck. And I told him, I said, you might as well go past me there. I can't stop beside the road and go take a shit in the woods. He said, once we get to the side that we're going to be at, so that way you know where we're going to be at. I said, because this is not going to wait. So after he did, I stopped the truck, get out, and took a shit in the cold. And God, wasn't it cold? Then it was all ice. It was all ice and snow. So that made it even worse. I had my back up against the tree. I was holding on to a branch, taking a shit. I managed to my ass away, stood up and started walking away from the tree. Fell on the fucking palm on my face. Son of a bitch. Literally had my face right in the snow, and I was just covered with it. Oh, God. That was shit with snow. I was so friggin' mad. I was cussing at the weather. God,
did you fall in the shit?
Bullshit.
Did you fall in the shit?
No, I fell in the snow. It was all ice and snow. So after I started walking away from the trees, when I fell in the snow. Not the snow where I took my shit.
What did you collect the shit, or you just left it there?
I left it there.
Oh my gosh.
I certainly didn't put it in a bag and take it with me.
You left shit on top of the snow?
I shit out all the snow. I leave my bag up against the tree. I got my drawers, leave my bag up against the tree, took a shit in the snow. Then I get up. I get all done, and I get up. I started walking away. I probably went 8 or 9 steps, and I took over branches and something that was all icy and friggin' fell right on my face. I was so friggin' mad. I was cussing at the weather. Goddamn fucking cold, that bullshit. I hate cold weather. It's irritating. But that was, it took me a while before I laughed it off.
Oh my.
I think I stayed mad till I got to the job site. And I was sitting there trying to think about Jesus Christ. If only that was on a movie.
And why didn't you just dig a hole for the snow to fall into? Why didn't you dig a hole for dig a hole for the shit to go into?
Why would I? Just lean it back up against the tree, take it off.
What about the wildlife?
What about the what?
The wildlife, like the animals and stuff.
They gotta eat too. Might be a shitty meal, but they can have it.
You want the animals to eat your shit?
The animals ain't gonna eat human shit. They
What
don't
if
eat old shit. Animals don't eat shit. They sniff it.
You want the animals sniffing your shit?
I don't care if they sniff my shit, even if they want to. As long as they're not sniffing my ass. Would you like me to tell you where I'm gonna take you to the movies?
Well, that's an interesting segue. The animals can eat my shit and sniff my shit. Oh, let me tell you about our day.
I kind of want to get off the subject of me taking a shit in the woods.
The stage is yours.
We're gonna go parking.
Parking?
Yep. And we're gonna watch a movie in my van.
Parking where?
Oh, find a place to go parking. Plenty of places to go parking around here. We're gonna watch a movie in my van. Like a TV and a DVD player in my van. So I thought that you and I would go buy a movie and watch it in my van.
What movie?
I don't know. I'll let you pick out the movie. I'm not good at picking out movies. I like movies that I've already seen, like Rambo and Titanic and Dumb and Dumber and Rocky. I figured I'd let you pick out movies, so I'm not good at picking out movies.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
That sounds like a plan, as they say.
So we can take the seats right out of my van. So we can take the seats right out of my van.
Take the seats out of it?
Yeah.
Why would we take the seats out of your van?
Well, because I'd rather lay down and watch a movie with you than I would sit in the seat and watch a movie. Wouldn't you rather do that? Or would you rather sit in the seat? There's 4 seats in the back. Which would you rather do?
I hadn't thought about it.
You can think about it and you can tell me. But there's 4 seats. Well, there's a total of 6 seats. You have two seats in front, then there's 4 seats in the back. If you think about it, you can tell me what you'd rather do.
You don't have okay, so you have like a,
like a minivan.
Okay, so like you have like 2 seats in the front, 4 in the back, and then what's behind those? Because don't they usually have like a space to store stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, there's two little compartments that have covers on them. Will have lids that they have hinges on that you open up from the trunk, from the hatchback part. You open the hatchback part. There's 2 covers there that you can open up, and they've got those places where you can store stuff in. Are you sleeping?
No.
Oh.
I was just talking. Like, how could I be sleeping? That's the thing.
I don't know. You've done it before. You've fallen asleep on me before.
That's because you've had a habit before of keeping me on the phone for like hours and hours and hours.
No way. I don't believe that.
I'm sure.
I think, handsome baby. Cold out there, huh? My big baby. You better catch it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Hang on, I gotta plug the phone in. Come on. Okay. Phone's plugged in.
Alright.
So what else would you like to do while you're up here?
Well, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cold in February and you want me to be freezing in the van?
No, the van has a heater. Front and in the back.
What made you get a van? I always saw you in truck.
Huh?
So what made you get a van? I always saw you in truck.
Something I haven't told you much about yet. I don't know if I told you anything about it yet. I said, something that I haven't told you much about yet, if anything. I don't know if I've told you anything about it yet. Or not. But I started going to an auction.
To where?
To an auction.
Oh, an auction.
And they have it every week. And I figured, well, a van would be better for me right now because well, see, at first I was trying to get a truck. I was trying to find a truck that I could get. I couldn't find any that I could get with what I wanted. I figured, well, which I wanted to plow. I was like, well, right now, financially, it would be better if you got something smaller and just worry about a file later after I get my job easily file. So I figure right now it makes more sense to get something smaller that doesn't take up so much gas and wouldn't cost as much for insurance and all that. So then I ran across this van. I was like, that's perfect because when I go to auctions, I'll be able to put more stuff in the van. But yeah, so I've got quite a bit of stuff from the auctions. You can get stuff like really, really cheap. And sometimes you wind up getting a whole table for $2.
What do you mean by a whole table?
You know them fold-up tables?
Like
I don't know, like a cafeteria table?
Yeah, I remember like when I was a kid, the cafeteria table.
Yeah, those type of tables. I'm getting a whole table for $2.
How much?
Like $2, $2 or $3. Depends on if anybody wants anything that's on the table or not. They'll try to sell an item separate off the table, and if they wind up not being able to sell what they try to sell on the table, if nobody wants the stuff and they wind up selling the whole table for cheap, then they try to start bidding as high as, well, they try to start at $2 and then they try to go up from there. If anybody bids up above the $2, they go up as high as they can. But a lot of times you wind up getting the whole table for $2. Whole table, or even one item that you want, you wind up getting it for like $2. I've gotten a lot of tables for $2 or $3. I got an organ, literally an organ, a 2-tier organ with a bench, pretty much in perfect condition, and it works. I got it for $3, and I got a couch that brand new would probably cost probably about $600 or $700. I got it for $10. It's still in mint condition. I couldn't believe I got it for that amount. Like, wow. And it's a pretty couch too. But I'm not keeping it. I'm going to sell it because with the dogs trying to get on it when I'm not in the house and stuff, it would wind up not being so pretty.
So how old is the furniture and stuff that you've been buying? How old are the things? Like, how old are these things you've been buying?
How old are they?
Yeah.
Some of them are old, and some are not old. It's like I got a recliner I got the recliner and a matching couch for free. Because nobody at the auction wanted to buy it, and I knew the guy that was storing it in his storage shed, and there was a sign on it that said free on it. And I told him, I said, well, Christ, this would be great if I could get Tony down there to put in his truck for me and take it over my house. He said, well, if you want, we can stick it in back in my shed, because I was hoping to pull a lady that owned them. I said, if I can't get Tony to get down there and get it tonight, then we'll stick it in the shed, in his storage shed. So, but I called Tony, I'm usually come down and get it. So we got it and brought it over here to my house. I cleaned it all up. Well, really wasn't anything to clean on it. It was just, I vacuumed it, shampooed it, but it was in really good condition anyway. I sit in that recliner and just in a matter of 10 minutes I fall asleep. So I try not to sit in it. And then the couch, put a bunch of stuff on the couch so that way the dogs wouldn't get on it.
Yeah.
But then I've got old radios. I mean, old radios back in the 1930s and 40s. Just antiques. I've got a lot of stuff in there. And the reason I'm doing that, which I haven't been for, well, actually I went 2 weeks ago, I think, but I was only there for like 15 minutes. But the only reason I'm doing it is so 10-mile yard sale, I can sell the stuff on a 10-mile yard sale and put it towards helping me pay off my land.
Yeah, that is coming up. When is that?
Huh?
I said that is coming up in June.
Yes. Memorial Day weekend.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready. Just spring, it'll be springtime. I'm ready to get rid of winter.
Dozing off.
I know, I can tell.
Yeah, so I'm gonna click off, but we shall talk. We'll probably talk tomorrow.
All right, what are you wearing?
My night clothes. Okay, so I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay.
That's a good description. That's a good description. That's a good description. That's a good description. That's a good description.